Okay, now to the good part. It is my honor to introduce our speaker for today. She, she means the world to me in a lot of ways. She has been my mentor, my friend, and a fellow sister practitioner. Calista J. Dorsey is a religious science practitioner, spiritual life coach, inspirational speaker, meditation leader, and mental health agency administrator who has dedicated her career to supporting people through their spiritual and mental journeys. As a religious science practitioner with the Center of Peace in the Philadelphia area, she has the privilege of leading meditation and other affinity groups that guide congregants and clients on their paths. She is an engaging speaker. Lord knows she is. Yes. Ooh. Who occasionally delivers the message at her spiritual center, as she's doing today, and moderates events with her signature charm and humor. For 57 years as a mental health agency administrator, she has served the needs of staff and constituents with indispensable knowledge, wisdom, and discernment. She maintains a safe and peaceful environment for all. Calista holds a weekly Zoom meditation that is attended by people of diverse religious perspectives. Daily, over 150 people look forward, and I'm one of them, to receiving her 7-minute recorded meditations titled, I Got Something to Say. She is a mother, a grandmother, sister, loving friend, and most of all, a spiritual being having a human experience called life. It is my great honor and pleasure to introduce my sister friend, Calista Dorsey.
Anybody got a grandmom like that in the house? I just want to know, do any of you know a grandmom like that? See, I remember great-grandmom. That's how blessed I am. I remember grandmom. I remember my first lesson on transitioning away from this world. Because one day, I walked up to great-grandmom's room, and great-grandmom wasn't there. But I saw the body. And I was not confused. I was just young and didn't have words to describe what I saw and what I did not see. So I walked on down to grandmom. I said, hey, grandmom, big grandmom is not in bed. She said, child, what you talking about? I said, she's not there. She said, come on, child, come on, come on. So she took me by my hand, and she took me up to the 3rd floor. And when I got to the 3rd floor, she walks in, and she looked. She knew what she saw, but she didn't see what I did. She immediately turned around because she had fear, and she took me and shooed me away. So I went back downstairs, because somewhere within me, I knew the truth. Grandma had taken flight. The body was there, but the spirit had gone where it wanted to go. So when my grandmom, I visit her at the nursing home, the last time I was able to visit her. See, I can talk about this today because I have no fear of what they were trying to teach me about death, because I'm only living a life, and that's all I concern myself about. So I left that nursing home that's right around the corner, and I'm in the car and I'm driving because they had told me, your grandma may not be here tomorrow. I said, that's grandmom's choice. She's here today. So I got in the car and I drove down Shelton Avenue. See, I've gone complete circle when I think of where we are today at the center of peace. I didn't think about this when I was going through writing all the notes and papers on the floor, trying to figure out what I was going to tell you today. But I know what I can tell you today because I walk it, I'm living it. And I got in the car and I turned on the radio, which I normally don't turn the radio on. That song played. I had never heard that song. And I kept on riding. I crossed the street right here at this corner. And when I got to the next corner, I got the phone call. Grandma had made her decision and she got her wings too. But see, you know what happened? Both those grandmoms gave me wings. Today, I'm not concerned about the transitioning to another place, because the better days that Grandma was talking about, it's today. This is my day. This is what I call a better day. Every time I wake up in the morning and I look and I see this sign that I have colored myself, and it says, you are loved, loved, and lovable. See, I know where that came from. And I know why I felt that. Because I am still learning about who I am. And I like this journey. I like the experience. I even like those experiences when I was doing some stuff that I ain't had no business doing. I know y'all can't relate to that because we all spiritual up in this house. And all of y'all on the internet, you know you all spiritual. But those human, oh my God, sometimes those humans step up. So today, I came up here with this little bag, and I want y'all to know what this bag represents, because some of you might need to get you a bag, and you might want to get a smaller one. This is where I keep my ego. My ego. Some of you may not realize it, that often I walk, and my ego is telling me what to do, what to say, and it's so darn bossy. I don't know where to get that from. You know what I mean? Always telling others what to do. Always telling, sometimes, me what to do. So this morning, when I was leaving, I said, you know, ego, you can come with me to this party. It's okay. But I'm going to control you today, because I wrote some stuff to say, but I know the Creator is going to bring me something else to tell you, and it's going to download, and I'm going to be able to express who I am, who I know you are. Because I see you. Every time I wake up in the morning, I can feel you because you have shared so much love. So I put a little rose quartz in there because I felt the ego might be lonely. So I'm going to put the ego away because sometimes it gets hard-headed and it steps on out and get on my nerves, telling me what to do, make me think I'm not in control. I just want y'all to know one thing. I'm practicing something, and that is respecting the time. And I'm going to let you know I came up here and I was supposed to hit the record button so I would be able to tell y'all, hey, time for me to sit down. But I forgot to press it. I hope you bought your lunch. But I need for you to know, the first time I had to do a message, it was for, it's so funny because everything I'm saying to you is all in these papers. And I have to realize that I'm already prepared to tell you what I want you to know. And I'm going to go with that. Because that's going to tell me when to sit down. Or my sister's going to tell me to sit down. See, I got pillows right next to me. I got Rosalind, my best friend, and my sister right there. One of them is going to say, hey, okay, you can shut that down right about now. But today, the theme for 2025, a day at a time. The theme for the month is oneness. And today is Peace Sunday. And peace is so priceless. So, in order to continue to tell you how much I love you, I'm going to tell you the 2 principles. See, it's challenging for me to read this stuff, but I need to tell you what the principles were that I was using to get through this process. So I better put on some glasses because, to be honest with you, they're cute and I look good in them. So you notice I do know everything and more about myself, so I don't always wait for the compliments, but I go ahead and tell myself sometimes. Okay, the principle number 4. We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it? What about somebody told me that I had to go somewhere and it was in heaven and somewhere out there? That must not be true for me today. But it served a purpose back in the time that I was told that. It got grandmom through, both grandmoms. And the second one that I really enjoyed was number 8. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives and direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. You know, that's those thoughts that you be having and you be trying to blame it on somebody else like the ego. No, that's your thoughts that's creating stuff that you know that you need to release because you've been carrying it so long. It's like a whole bag of fat or something, you know, something that you don't need. And we keep carrying around, keep telling the same doggone stories over and over again. What you carrying it for? Oh, I know why. You just used to it. It's a habit. You don't know what else to do. Mama did it, grandmom did it. So many of us, we know, have been telling the same story about themselves. So the theme and the principles made it easy to say what to talk about, because now I can talk about any of this and all of this, and it's all one. That's who we are. So today is my belief in action. And guess what? It's longer than 3 minutes. And Reverend Tawan is not here to pull me down. So that helped to cover me when I talk about, because today there's 2 things I can talk about. Myself, because I know who I am, I know who I am becoming, and I can talk about God. See, you can't tell me I don't know about the Creator, because I know where I come from. I know where I've been. And I know I'm not the same person that stepped up into this place, because there were people here that said, come here, my child. Carletta, Deborah Ford, come here, girl. I wanted to tell him because, you know, I'm a woman. You ain't got no business calling me a girl. But guess what I did? I kept right on walking. And every time that woman looks at me, don't care where I am, the eyes tell me, come here, and I kept to stepping. Why? Because I would not be who I am if I didn't listen to people that were loving me and just wanted to show their love in their way. Because that's the only way you can get it. That's the only way you can accept it, by those doing it the way they do it. And it's not going to be the same, because y'all all know Calista can't do it any other way but Calista. And the only way Calista can be Calista is because the Creator said, come on, my child, I got something for you to say. So I start saying it when I feel like it. And you know what else? I don't even need an audience, because I do really well talking to myself. Now, I know some of y'all don't talk to yourself. But when I listen to Cynthia read the words about who I am, as far as my human journey, who works 57 years in the same place? That's because I had a mission. I had set the intention. I was on purpose I may not have known it. I may not have had a name for it. But I knew at that JFK Center of Behavioral Health, they needed somebody like Calista. They needed somebody that was not afraid to speak up. Because there's so many people that walk to my desk each and every day, and all they want to know is that they are loved, and lovable. That's all. They don't want to hear anything else. They walk up to my desk and they be saying, Miss Dorsey, I got a problem, because they better say Miss Dorsey, because I do like this. Because obviously they don't know who I am. Because I tell you how I want you to speak to me by the way I carry myself. So even at 19 years old, when I step up in there, I was Miss Dorsey. Even the day that, and I'll share this, why that's my name today. If you want somebody to call you something, you better be it. You better be able to show respect, not only for them, but for yourself. Because if not, they will call you what they want to call you. And today, you better speak to me as Miss Dorsey unless I tell you something different. And one day, a person walked up to me and pat me on the hip. 19, 20 years old, and I got a child home to raise. And I froze. I did not know what to do because he's signing the paycheck. But this doesn't belong to the paycheck. So I left that day and went home. And I spoke to my former husband, because I don't call him ex-husband, because I ain't exing anybody out of my life. Because if I ask you to come in my life, then that means you're supposed to be there in some kind of way. And right now, he's not an ex. He's my former husband. See, I told you I'm going to talk about me, because this is a belief in action. This is how I got to be up here, because I try to be true to myself. And I went home and told him, and being from North Philly, the brother was ready to go handle business. But no, see, ladies, I want y'all to know something. Don't send a man to do a woman's job, because he didn't pat my husband on the butt. It was me. So I said, no, I handle this. I got this. So I went back. I told my supervisor, one of them, and he said, Miss D, I just want you to know, you could be jeopardizing your job. I'm not going to tell you what to do, because I know I can't. See, I remember it real well, because it allows me to continue to have the lessons, remember who I am, when someone is trying to make me less. But I wasn't at the center of peace. That was the Creator that downloaded and let me know that I'm God's child, and you have no business disrespecting me. So ladies, I'm telling you, don't ever let somebody disrespect you. Male, female, nah, it's not worth it. You would lose the essence of who you are. So I got back to the office and I walked up to his secretary. I said, I need to speak to him. See, at that time, he didn't have a name, because at that time, he decided that I was less than who he was. So I went back up, sat there at his desk, big desk, very intimidating. And I told him, don't ever do that again. Because see, when he did it, he not only did he disrespect me, he disrespect my mother, my grandmother, and my great-grandmother. Because there were times when they had to accept that, not today. And you know what he said? And I thought about many, many women in the past. I thought about how they felt alone, because he said, well, I think of you as like my daughter. Excuse me. And I know y'all have heard me say, excuse me? Your daughter? You pay her to pat her on the butt? Correct me if I'm wrong. And he said, well, no, I don't mean it that way. I said, not only that, you told me to get a broom. That wasn't my job to get a broom, because I know my job. Because when I first came there, a woman told me, I don't know how you got this job, because you can't speak good grammar, you don't speak good English, you can't type well. 57 years from now, I'm still there. I don't know if it was my typing skills. I still half the time don't use the right language. My sister can tell you I will misspell your name, but I won't misspell the fact that you are God's child here on earth. That'll never happen. So he apologized, and I left, and I went to sit down at my desk wondering, do I still have a job? Because that's all it was. It was just a job. But my purpose there was more than a job. My purpose was to be there to help people, to be of service. That's why I asked for the walking stick. I'm here to be of service. And next thing you know, my supervisor, who was not there at the time, guess what he told me I should have done? He said, this is my belief in action. He said, you should have waited till I got back to the office and speak to me about it. And I remember looking at him saying, you must be confused because it was my butt. Wasn't your wife, your sister, nothing, no, just mine. And I'm in charge of it. So the next thing you know, there was a memo that went around. And that memo said, as of today, because I wasn't sure who I was, that I even gave them permission to call me by my nickname. That's how I walked up in there. Oh, no, you don't have to say Calista. You know, you don't have to say, you can call me. And I'm not going to say the nickname. Anybody ask you nothing, my sister? That's because I was still growing to figure out who I am. But I knew I had to make a decision right then and there. So the memo came out that as of today, I will be called Miss Dorsey. And I walk with proudness of saying that. It's not because I'm trying to be different than anyone else, but excuse me, I am. We are, but we're still God, walking here on earth, being all that we are, being truthful to who we are. So today is a good day. Today is a day to realize, who are you? What have you decided to do, to be? How are you showing up? So often we keep showing up the way they told us back in the day. This is who you are. Sit there, be cute, you know. No, I'm loud. I just want y'all to know I am loud. I know y'all didn't know that. I always got something to say because the Creator continues to give me something to say. The Creator continues to show me how I can express love, how I can be of service. I can't believe, yes I can, because I remember Reverend Sheila told me that when I did the spoken word, and I walked over to her because everybody liked the spoken word, and I'm trying to figure out, y'all like that? And I walked over to her and said, I can't believe they liked it. And she looked at me with this stern look. Yes, you can. And today, I believe you're hearing what I'm saying. And nobody stood up to say, hey, Kate, because it's time for you to go. Because you heard the truth. It's my belief in action. Every second, fourth Sunday, it's almost like I feel like I have to beg someone to come up and share their belief in action. Why? Why are you bashful or shy or scared of the mic? Because if you're walking around and you're accepting all these gifts that the Creator keeps giving you, and you keep saying to somebody, you hear the Creator pull me through this one, but you can't come up and tell somebody about it. You can't tell your story, but you keep telling that negative story about, oh, Lord, I can't pay this bill today. And then all of a sudden, somebody hand you a piece of money and you pay the bill. But guess what you didn't do? You didn't say, I'm grateful to the Creator. You just took and you just walked and you just paid the bill. But did you take the moment to say, I'm grateful? That's how I wake up every morning. I can't help myself. I remember who I am. I remember that the Creator has created me. I remember that the only thing I have to do is show up and be all that I am. Because when I show up, what you see, this is God. They just put a name on and call it Calista. The more I understand that I'm walking this spiritual journey of life, I can't help myself but to get up and tell you. Tell your story. Stop repeating. If you're still, like Reverend Tawana said last week, if you're still doing the same stuff, she might have wanted to say something, a different word, but doing the same stuff over and over again, you haven't changed? Doesn't make sense. That's because you're not practicing what will get you through all of this mess. When I walk in that office on Monday morning, just about every morning, I walk in and I'll say, good morning to the security guards. I always say, good morning, good people. Because see, I woke up this morning knowing that I'm a good person. And I'll say, good morning. And they say, well, how you doing, Miss Dorsey? I said, just another day in paradise. And this same guard would say, if you say so. And I look at him and I say, you keep praying for paradise. I'm walking paradise. Who I am, this is paradise. When you see me, when you speak to me, when you have a time to sit down with me, you bring paradise, I bring paradise, and we got a party going on right then. But we don't all believe that because they gave you some labels that you keep carrying around. Those labels of people judging you for who you are, judging you and telling you that you're not all what God has created. See, I know today. Let me tell you. Can you check the time for me? Because she says no. Somebody better. Okay. I want to share how I got prepared just a little bit. When Reverend Tawana picked up the phone and called me, and she said, Calista, would you be available on the 3rd or the 10th to do the message on Sunday, on one of those Sundays? I said, excuse me? See, that's my way of backing up and figuring out if I'm going to say yes or no. How can I say I'm the walking stick? How can I say that I am of service if I can't answer her because I'm allowing that fear, that ego that I put away, give me all the reasons why I want to say no? I started thinking about all the work I had to do to prepare. And I'm saying in my brain, my mind, oh, I got to write this, I got to look up this stuff, I got to figure this out. I had so many pieces of paper down in front of me. I'm home writing because I figured y'all wanted to hear it. And then I decided to type. And when I was typing it and I got to the end of it, I felt that inner voice, the same inner voice that told me to start doing the meditations, that said I had something to say. Same inner voice that told me that great-grandma had carried her wings and was on her way somewhere. Who knows? She's partying just like I party, I guess. When grandma, same voice. When my mother, it was the same voice. See, you got to practice and you got to go into meditation so that you can recognize the voice, because if you don't, other voices keep coming in there saying, you ain't all that. So then I said, that's too much conversation in my head. The woman only asked me a question. Give her an answer so you can keep driving because you're on your way to pick up your sister so you can go shopping or something. And that's when I said, yes. And then that's when the ego started saying, you got to look this up. I can't tell you how many pieces of paper, and I can't tell you how many pieces of paper. I have to tell you, when the Creator starts working on you and you start listening, you got something to say. And that's why I could say yes. That's why whenever someone comes to me and asks me, can you do this? Do you know this? Do you know somebody that can do this? I've always got an answer. If I don't know from me, I can find out. I can look through my phone. You want somebody's phone number? Look through it. You know why? Because I call them. I send out texts that's going all over the place. They're going into prisons. People are using them. And I say to myself, yeah, the Creator gave you some words. And I can tell that I'm done. You know why? Because all I can feel is the silence of love that's being poured through each one of you. It's being poured into me. And when I told Reverend Tawana last Sunday, I said, Reverend Tawana, I was walking down the hall and I said, I'm a little nervous. She did like to say, who are you talking about? And she said, just be you. So a belief in action is being who I am. I believe that I have the faith of a mustard seed that allows me that whenever you want to know who God is to me, because I don't know who God is to you, so I ain't going to try to represent, because I get in trouble. But I know who God is, and I ask you, see a practitioner. Get a meditation partner. Because in order for me to do what I just did, I called my practitioner, Deborah, this morning and said, hey, I need a prayer. I spoke to my prayer partner today, Bayless, because I needed to be in prayer. I'm serious about this business of this spiritual journey. I did my meditation this morning. Did you? I ain't going to ask you to raise your hand. But you got to use the spiritual tools if you want to be that walking stick and know that you are a gift from God. So I'm asking the practitioners, because I want y'all to know something. I just got my sister's thumb up. I just got Rosin's thumb up. I know I'm all done. The party is over. Practitioners, help me to hold this in prayer. I don't believe I got all this paper. Come on, God. Allow me to know my truth. I know that the Creator is right here present. I recognize the Creator. I recognize that the Creator has created everything, including everyone in this room and everyone that's not in this room, because the Creator continues to create all. I know that the Creator has created that beautiful sun that shines, and sometimes the rain has to fall when we may not agree with it falling at that time. But guess what? That's the Creator's work, and the Creator says, let it be. I am recognizing that the Creator is the allness of love, unconditional love, that continues to give each one of us a power that is so powerful, that allows you to continue to go deep into your spiritual tools to use the Creator. That's what the Creator wants you to do. Step up and represent, because the Creator continues to exist because it's speaking through you. It's speaking through your behavior. It's speaking through what you know is true. So I am knowing that we are all one. We are all connected. It can be no other way. So as I speak for Calista, I am speaking for everyone that can hear me, that you are God's child. And each and every day, tell your story. Allow people to know your truth so they won't write your story. Tell who you are, because there are ears that want to listen. Write your book, because the Creator has put it within you. Don't wait. Don't wait. Because time is here, but it's for you to use. So I am knowing that the truth of who I am and the truth of who you are is perfect, whole, and complete. Today is a good day. Today is a day to be grateful. Today is a day to know that you are a gift. And the gifts that the Creator has put within you, it's time to sit down. It's time to realize how to use them, how to support others, how to be that walking stick where you are of service to others. Yes, because the Creator will download what you need to say. You've just been a witness, because I can share with you that because I got out of the way and I allow the Creator to do what the Creator does, and the Creator does it so well. So I am so happy today. I am so grateful today. I'm grateful for each one of you. I'm grateful for the love. I am grateful for Reverend Tawana, who allowed me to step up into this space and be all that I can be in this moment, because there's more to come, and I know it is. So today, walk with gratitude. Today, walk with love, remembering that you are loved, loved, and lovable. And if you don't know it, I'll hold the high watch for you. I'll hold the consciousness until you believe it in yourself and you can step up and tell your story. So I am grateful. I am so thankful. I say thank you, Mother, Father, God, for allowing me to be who I am, a God's child walking in this world among each one of you, because I know I am loved. So now I gather my words and I put these words into the law, knowing that there is no void, there is no confusion. It is done. It is complete. And I let it be, because I know the Creator got my back as well as yours. And so it is. Every time you take that breath, it's a moment to say, I'm grateful because the Creator has given you that breath. What is your belief in action? Don't leave it not being spoken. Speak on it, because someone else will speak on it for you. Your belief in action is that you are loved, give it to me, y'all, and loved. And so it is.